The next tool that we want to install is Visual Studio Code, also known as VS Code. So throughout the course, this will be our text editor. This is going to be the program in which we're going to actually write our Ruby code, and it's also going to be the program where we're going to automatically run our Ruby code. So VS Code is a very popular, free, open source text editor. It is funded by Microsoft and also developed by a global team of contributors. So it has both community support and the financial support of a large tech corporation. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And it's generally a pretty friendly, easy to use, customizable editor. When you're starting out with coding, it really doesn't matter what you're coding in as long as you're mastering the concepts of the language. But I do think VS Code is a great option for both beginner and advanced developers. So in order to download this, you can go to code.visualstudio.com. and the page should automatically detect your operating system. So here you can see it says download for Windows. You can go ahead and click that button to download the installer. It might take you to a separate page, but it should start the installation process. In case it doesn't work, you can see it says here, if the download doesn't start, you can try this direct download link. And once it downloads, it's going to appear in your downloads folder. So I'm just going to open that installer. And once again, walk you through the installation process for VS Code. All right, so here we go. Here's what the screen looks like. I'm going to click I accept the agreement, once again, to accept the licensing terms of the software, then click next. Once again, just like Ruby, it's going to offer us an option to customize the installation directory. I'm just going to go with the standard one right here. All right, this one is going to offer us the opportunity to customize whether or not the application will be placed in our start menu. Once again, I don't really care, so I'm just going to say sure and click next. All right, and there's a couple additional options here. You can, for example, choose to create a desktop icon for yourself. That's totally up to you and user preference. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you'll notice the last option here is add to path. Very similar to what we did with Ruby in the previous lesson. This one will allow us to open VS Code using the command line, using the PowerShell, using text-based commands. It's going to allow us to open VS Code from our PowerShell in any directory. Once again, this can be really powerful because it allows us to use this software, this program, in our PowerShell, regardless of where we are actually navigated to in our computer's file structure. So I do recommend keeping this checked, then click next. And then here's one more confirmation screen that just summarizes all of our options. We can click install. And that will begin the installation process. All right. And the good news is after this is installed, we can sync up with our friends in the macOS community because moving forward from this lesson, the content should be the same regardless of what operating system you're on. So now we have VS Code installed, we have Ruby installed, and the rest is just writing code within this editor and then running it and learning all about how Ruby works. So here is the final screen. You can see it gives us an option to launch Visual Studio Code. I'm going to keep that checked and click finish, just because I do want to show you what the editor looks like. And here it is popping up on my screen. I'm going to expand it. And this is VS Code. So that's all you really need. As long as this is launching and you're seeing this editor on your screen, that means VS Code has been successfully installed. All right, that's all there is to cover in this lesson. So I will see you in the next one.